that, I think about Dr. Dennis Kimbrough when Michael Jordan was playing basketball, and they said, just feed Michael the ball, he's unconscious. And I said, what is he talking about?
That's true.
And he explained. Did you get what he was talking about?
No,
when he said feed him the ball because he's unconscious. I saw that guy Paxton. What's the Paxton little guy Paxton in one of the playoff games hit a he hit a three-pointer without actually looking at the basket. He glimpsed at it for a minute, but he had made that shot so many times that he made that shot unconscious.
But the paradox is, it is about consciousness, because you let the consciousness run through you, and you just, your consciousness, boom, you just do it. Now it's just like right now, it would be nice if we had, $500,000 shoots on and fancy alligator shoes, and sometimes you should do that. Nothing wrong with that. But today on a Sunday morning, I just jumped out of bed and we're at the park, 39th and Cottage Grove. It's beautiful out here. The lake is over here, downtown's over here. It's all good. We're just letting it flow. It's all right. And people sometimes you need to come out of your house on a nice Sunday morning, Saturday morning, and just sit at the park and just be silent.
And one thing that I learned is that when things are going rough and they're not as good as I would like for them to be based on my expectation, one thing I learned from Deepak Chopra, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Chopra.
Is that we have to learn how to detach from the outcome. Most people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. That's so old, I don't even hardly say it no more. It's worn out, it's outdated, overrated, and ill-fated. Planning is very, very important, because whatever house that you're sitting in, wherever you are, at the earshot of our voice, and you can see and seeing us, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you sitting on, whatever you watching this, all that was planned. Those are blueprints were developed.
Yes.
For that TV that you watching this program on, that couch that you sitting on, that house coat that you got on.
Right.
All that stuff was designed and developed. It was a blueprint. It was an idea first. It came out of consciousness. It came out of somebody's imagination.
Yeah.
Everything's created twice. Once in the mind, and secondly, when it manifests itself in the universe, as some people say, the New Thought people, as it manifests itself into the ethers. So when we talk about consciousness, sometimes I know from my personal experience, I first had to learn how to do things consciously by having a teacher consciously spend some time with me when I'm in my consciousness, let me know. If you think you got to go to the bathroom, let me know. At some point, I had to stop wearing diapers because I got potty trained. Because my teacher made a conscious effort to work with me as her son and a student. That was early beginnings of learning to be a student. Because if I wouldn't have listened, I'd be sitting here talking to you with a 10s on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know.
So the point I'm trying to make is that at some point, consciousness is the first step towards being able to do things unconsciously. Like somebody might ask you a question, and if you like me, and maybe some of y'all out there used to have a problem with lying. When it comes to some things, I don't have to think twice. Matter of fact, when it comes to some things, very few things do I have to think twice about. Because when I'm thinking twice about it, something is going on there. Why do I have to think twice?
I know, but let me close out by saying this one last point. I know you have to have goals and intentions, and you have to have the 10 things you have to have goals at which is fine. You need that. But we have to get away from, I want to be a multi-millionaire. You could do it, but if you just focus on I want to be a multi-millionaire, once you get $1 million, you find it's not fulfilling. Because when it's all about consciousness, all about helping other people, it's about the flow going through you, through to everyone else.
It can happen, but if you're not living on purpose,
right?
If you're not about your life mission, which may require some soul searching, which I had to do and a lot of others, then you won't be fulfilled. I know you may be sitting there telling, "Oh, Marc's crazy, RANOULE's crazy." No, we've had personal contact with many people that probably that have more money than we would probably. You heard what I said. More money than we will probably have in our own lifetime. I'm talking about Marc and myself. I don't know nothing about you.
Billionaires.
Billionaires and millionaires.
Yes.
And many of them have said that they would trade the money they have for peace of mind, some solitude, some having more harmonious relationships, Remember I was telling you about the guy that was a motivational speaker. He was so busy trying to earn money for his family and stuff. Had a little girl, 2 years old. The baby died. He didn't spend a lot of time like this man that was over here with his little daughter in the swing, spending time on a Sunday morning with his daughter.
Right.
And he was devastated for 5 years, didn't make no money because he was so screwed up in the head and feeling all that guilt and remorse that he had to work through all that stuff and finally forgive himself about that.
Well, let me finish this point. As you heard the saying, Mr. Tatum, that everything we do, literally everything we do, is to bolster our self-image or protect our self-image. And it's about the ego, bolstering our ego or protecting our ego. You know, you stepped on my shoe, you disrespected me. And it's all about the ego. And it's the challenge for me and probably for you at home, we have to relinquish the ego at times. You disrespected me. You did me wrong. I need to have a big car. I gotta have a big, we gotta,
Right.
It's not about, at some point it's not about you, per se.
And the next time we get together, I want to talk about fear, because fear falls in 3 categories. The fear of losing something, the fear of somebody taking something, and the fear of not getting something. And we can spend a whole hour talking about the 3 levels of fear. Because I've talked to some people recently, they say, "RANOULE, I never looked at fear that way."
Well, I can tell you what, it's been a pleasure. People need to come out to the park and just relax, man.
Right, it's great.
We running our mouth now, but
Sunday
we're doing
morning,
a show. But
I can see the building that I live in.
yeah, it's peaceful. Your daughter's over here, she chilling out. It's all good.
A couple blocks from the lake, not trying to live the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I'm just glad that HUD decided to save those 2 buildings and make it a mixed income
And you got your health, man. Come on. You got your health, you have your
family. By the
family.
time people see this, I would be celebrating 3 years of being cancer-free of prostate cancer, and I still got my prostate. That's a real blessing.
You got your health, you have your family, you got a little money in your pocket. What more can you ask for? Everything's good.
All right, thank you.